What's up everyone, this is Tony with JRNY Crypto. Welcome back to another video. So there's some crazy activity going on in the crypto market right now. I'm seeing a lot of people panicking as well. Coinbase saw an outage because of the high volume, and it was actually showing a lot of people's balance at $0. A lot of people were panicking, thinking Coinbase got hacked and they got drained, but they did reassure everyone on Twitter that this was just a large surge of traffic. They apologized for this and they're working on this, but this pretty much happens every time there's a massive surge of volume in the crypto space. We do see Coinbase and other platforms go down temporarily. This generally happens when people are logging in to take profit as well, so it prevents that. By the time they get back in, the markets have corrected, which we just saw. So Bitcoin touched around $64,000 here this morning. Huge run up in the last day. Yesterday was 57,000. We saw a steady rise this morning and then a huge peak where it did touch around 64,000. Around that time, Coinbase did crash. We saw a flash crash to around 58,000 and then a quick recovery and now going down again. So it is bouncing around here, a couple $1,000s every 15 minutes or so, going up and down. So we're actually getting very close to previous all-time highs for Bitcoin, with Bitcoin touching $64,000 this morning. It pretty much is around all-time high territory, which you can see back here. Peak of last bull market, it did touch $69,000, but that was, of course, the exact peak. So these couple of peaks here, the first one was around 60,000. And then the second one was around 65 to 69,000, but of course that was very temporary and it had a massive correction afterwards back down to around $35,000 before it corrected and entered the bear market, where it did bottom out here with the FTX crash around $15,000 Bitcoin. So since then, Bitcoin has had a massive recovery. So we are seeing some turbulence now. We haven't had much of a correction since Bitcoin started rising. And this is very interesting because retail interest really hasn't started picking up. And if we actually check the trend levels, current trend level for Bitcoin is nowhere close to where it was here at the previous peaks. So that does show me that once retail interest does get back to that, trend levels are around the same here. We are going to be well over $100,000 Bitcoin. As long as nothing else crazy happens. And we are in new territory here with the Bitcoin spot ETFs. And we haven't even had the Bitcoin halving yet, which is around 52 days away still. This is pretty crazy. This is something we haven't seen yet. Generally, the retail interest in the bull market starts picking up after the Bitcoin halving. And I do think last time it would have done a lot better if it wasn't for COVID. That huge flash crash we had shortly before the last Bitcoin halving. But this time, there's nothing crazy happening like that is preventing Bitcoin from climbing. So very possible we see a $100,000 Bitcoin by mid 2024. Especially the way things are going here. If retail interest starts picking up, that's going to be very easy. So if we check trend levels here, Bitcoin is in blue. And you can see previous all-time high here, Bitcoin was at 100 trend level, but pretty much during that whole bull market, it was over 50 trend level and peaking here at different times at around 80 to 90. So current trend level for Bitcoin being around 23. You can imagine if this retail interest starts really picking up and climbing, and we get back to this previous bull market territory, Bitcoin's probably going to be over $100,000 at that point. And that can move very quickly. There's a huge shortage of Bitcoin in the markets. And with the Bitcoin halving coming in April, that's going to cause even further of a supply shock. So the Bitcoin halving basically just cuts in half how much Bitcoin is going out through Bitcoin mining rewards in half. Currently, the block reward is 6.25 Bitcoin. That'll be cut in half to 3.125 Bitcoin when this halving occurs. And at the next halving, about 4 years from now, that 3.125 Bitcoin will be cut in half once again, and so on. So that's generally why that's very bullish, because less Bitcoin coming into circulation as demand is rising for other reasons. We do have major reasons this time as well: the spot ETF, institutional adoption, a lot of demand coming to Bitcoin right now that we haven't had previously. So this cycle, I think, is going to be much different than previous cycles. And I have seen some people speculating that this cycle is actually going to end sooner than previous cycles as well. So that is a possibility, but I do think a lot of people are comparing what's going to be happening to previous cycles, and everyone's going to expect a major pump and dump like we have seen previously with previous bull markets. But with so much institutional adoption and the ETFs and everything in general, I really don't think we're going to have a major crash like this entering a bear market like we did last time. So it is really crazy to see Bitcoin approaching previous all-time highs like this before the Bitcoin halving, and with trend levels this low in general. So things are going to get really crazy as retail interest starts picking up again. I think we're going to see a lot more institutional interest this time as well. Like we saw last bull market, Tesla, MicroStrategy, and a couple other companies acquiring a very large amount of Bitcoin. I do think we're going to see that tenfold throughout this next cycle. A lot more companies getting involved, acquiring a large amount to hold on their balance sheet, especially as a hedge against inflation, the way things are going. But seeing Bitcoin trend level this low and other trend levels as well, crypto is in red here and NFT in yellow. So you can see those are still bear market territory pretty much. And you can see that with the price of altcoins in general. Some altcoins have done really well, but pretty much the majority of altcoins are nowhere close to their previous all-time highs. Dogecoin currently at 11 cents, but you can see it did peak here around 60 to 70 cents. So still really far away from previous all-time highs. But altcoins generally don't start moving until retail interest really starts picking up and has seen a peak for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those are generally the first movers. And then a lot of that profit starts moving into altcoins, especially as altcoins start picking up and you start seeing these projects launching different things that are bullish. But pretty much any altcoin you look at, you'll see that it's nowhere close to previous all-time highs. ADA currently at 62 cents. It peaked around $3. And if we check a couple others, Avalanche AVAX currently $39. That peaked around $130. So you can see a lot of altcoins, even the ones that are bullish, still pretty far away from previous all-time highs, even though Bitcoin is pretty much there. Ethereum starting to get close, especially with speculation that an Ethereum spot ETF is coming. A lot of people talking about this as well, but you can see even that peaked around $4,500, and that's currently $3,300. If Ethereum gets a spot ETF approval, though, things are going to go nuts, and not just for Ethereum, because altcoins generally go up with Ethereum as well. So if Ethereum starts surging, a lot of altcoins are going to surge as well. I think that's really when we're going to see a crazy altcoin season, is probably a short period after a spot Ethereum approval. That's when we're going to see retail interest really going off as well, when altcoins really start picking up. So I do think that's coming, but since we're still quite a bit of ways before the Bitcoin halving, 54 days here, that should be April 22nd, around that. I really think by mid 2024, we're going to really start seeing altcoins picking up in general. But right now, we're kind of still in bear market territory for a lot of altcoins and NFT in general. So I do think things will start picking up in general, but things are a lot different this time. We're seeing a lot of interest and demand for Bitcoin, even though retail interest hasn't really started picking up. So I removed the Bitcoin trend because I do want to talk about crypto and NFT trend levels and when we can expect the next major altcoin NFT season as well, which inevitably will come at some point after we see Bitcoin and Ethereum peaking. So we can see the altcoin season really peaked out here in May of 2021. It peaked again here when Bitcoin came back and hit its new all-time high, but not as strong as that first run. But we can see NFTs also peaked here around that same time. That was mostly CryptoPunks and a few other small collections, but there weren't many existing collections in NFTs at that point, so things really couldn't pick up that much in general. But I do expect something similar to happen this time around. At the same time as we're going to be getting an altcoin season, we're going to be getting an NFT season as well. We can see here the NFT trend actually peaked higher than the crypto trend itself, that second half of the bull market. And that's just because a ton of celebrities were getting involved, making NFTs their profile picture. A ton of new projects were launching and creating collections after this first run. So I think we can expect something similar here. Once we start seeing altcoin season picking up, we're definitely going to be seeing a NFT trend picking up at the same time. And I do think that's how things are going to go moving forward in general. I do expect altcoin season to start picking up sometime after we see Bitcoin and Ethereum picking up and breaking previous all-time highs. This actually peaked here shortly after we saw a ton of interest come to Bitcoin and Ethereum, tons of profit spilling over from Bitcoin and Ethereum into altcoins, and that's what really helped kick off this major altcoin season, especially since there's such higher potential for higher returns in altcoins than there is for Bitcoin and Ethereum generally. This time it's different. We're seeing Bitcoin act like an altcoin did last season, which is interesting, but I do expect that an altcoin season will be picking up. I do think we're going to see a huge uptrend in retail interest in everything crypto and NFT related by mid 2024, since things are picking up so quickly for Bitcoin right now, and a Ethereum spot ETF is likely on the horizon as well. So since I started making this video, Bitcoin has actually shot up a couple $1,000s again. Crazy amount of volume here, platforms going down, a lot of crazy stuff happening. So just be very careful out there. Don't panic and make a bad decision. Be careful with anything you're connecting your wallet to and everything, because this is when scammers are targeting people the most as well. Just be very careful, but I do think retail interest is actually rising right now, and we're actually going to start seeing a lot more retail investors getting back into the space, buying Bitcoin and Ethereum, some altcoins, but speculation of a Ethereum spot ETF as well. If we do actually get confirmation of that actually happens, things are going to get crazy for the entire space. But at the same time, if Ethereum skyrockets in price, the gas fees are going to get crazy as well. Last bull market, we saw gas fees anytime a new NFT was minting or something crazy was happening. A couple $100s per transaction for Ethereum is just insane. And that does really rule out a lot of projects from even doing anything on Ethereum. So a lot of Ethereum competitors will be doing great as well again, like Solana, Cardano, Avalanche, and a couple new ones I have been talking about as well, Arbitrum and Optimism as well. Coinbase actually built their own chain using Optimism, which is called Base. They've been getting a ton of volume on that since they're using it on the Coinbase platform itself. So there are some alternatives here I think are going to be doing great since Ethereum gas fees are inevitably going to be getting so high. But something Alex Becker just posted on Twitter, he said if Ethereum gets to something like $15,000 per coin, gas fees can be as high as $1,000 or more for a single transaction. Imagine you want to go mint a new NFT on the Ethereum blockchain and the gas fee is over $1,000. Probably going to cost more for the gas fee than it will for the actual cost of the NFT itself. So that is something that is a major issue with Ethereum, but regardless, it's still number 2 in market cap. It is probably going to be treated like Bitcoin, where people just buy and hold for price speculation. Whereas a lot of new NFT projects and stuff are going to start using alternative blockchains like Solana, Cardano, Avalanche, Polygon, Optimism, and Arbitrum, and some other ones that have been launching as well. So that continues to be an issue. Ethereum does have updates coming though still no sharding, which was supposed to fix the gas fees, but hoping that does come at some points during the bull market as well, but we'll see how that goes. Regardless though, lots of bullish stuff happening here, and definitely think we're going to see a NFT altcoin bull season at some point after we see a major peak in trend level here for Bitcoin and crypto. But that is something you do have to understand. Bitcoin and Ethereum are always the first movers in general, unless an altcoin does something that's really bullish and really catches a lot of attention, like we just saw Solana surging before a lot of these other altcoins. Unless something like that happens, generally altcoins are not going to go up a lot until a lot of this profit starts spilling over from Bitcoin and Ethereum, and until we start seeing a lot of new retail investors coming into the space, which we're not seeing much of at this point. So stay positive if you are holding altcoins that haven't really been moving much, or NFTs. Things will pick up with everything else, and just keep that in mind. That's just the flow of the crypto market, but things are looking great in general. We are entering bull market territory, but like I said, these current trend levels are pretty much still bear market for NFT and crypto, but inevitably that will be going up as everything else starts getting more positive and going up in general as well. But that's pretty much it for this video. I will be talking more about altcoins. Like I said, I mentioned a few in this video: Optimism, Arbitrum, which I have been talking about for quite a while. Good alternatives to Ethereum right now. I'm seeing a lot of projects building using both of those, especially Arbitrum. Actually, Apecoin is building Ape Chain on that right now, which should be coming out in Q2. I've heard of a few other gaming projects using Arbitrum as well. And then there's other projects like Immutable IMX, which has been doing great. I was pretty bullish on that. Dollar cost average, some of that's around 50 cents to $1. That's now at $3.20. But still massive potential out there. Just have to be careful on what you're getting into, especially if it is at a major peak. Most likely it will have a correction at some point. But comparing a lot of these altcoins to previous all-time highs like Dogecoin, where most likely Elon Musk is not going to stop supporting Dogecoin, and now that he owns Twitter, which is now X, he's likely going to integrate Dogecoin into the platform in a big way and continue accepting Dogecoin as payment and stuff. And we'll see if maybe they even acquire a large amount of Dogecoin for one of the company's balance sheets, or Elon buys a lot himself or something. Definitely one of the meme coins that can do really well. I actually did a video on meme coins not that long ago. Some good picks in that if you want to check that out. I've gone over some other altcoins as well that have already done extremely well since doing those videos over the last couple months, but still huge potential out there. A lot of new projects launching. A lot of these projects going to be launching their updates, which they've been holding back. That's the thing. A lot of these crypto and NFT projects, they have to play it smart. While they've been building throughout the bear market, they're not going to just launch these major products in a bear market where there's low interest and then really miss out on that new interest coming into the project. They're going to wait until retail interest is really starting to move up for altcoins and NFTs in general. And that's when we're going to start seeing tons of projects launching new stuff and innovating, and new projects launching. And that's really going to be bullish overall as well. So good things happening in the space. Definitely very bullish. I'll have more updates for you guys soon, but stay positive and just be careful out there. Scammers making a lot of fake social media accounts and stuff. Really seeing a big problem with that on Twitter or X, where these verified accounts are blocking the poster, and basically they can't even see that they're replying to their comments. A lot of people are falling for this because it looks so real. So just be careful out there. Always double check sources and everything, and be safe out there. And I'll see you guys in the next video.